Peace, everybody. Back with another video. This is Meat Mental Health Story, latest in fake nutritional science. And as you can see, here is a grocery store all full of beef and that. Now, every year, or I should say every day, our food is being poisoned by fake science. They never tell the truth of what's in the foods at all. And every year, these fake scientists are put back in office. They're always promising fresh or clean food, clean water, and they never do because they are poisoning people, and they don't even care at all what they're doing to us. That's why everybody is always sick. Then you got to keep running to the hospital and everything else. And this article is from May 1st, 2020. So this is the latest update on about the nutritional science. Meat improves mental health. Mainstream media blasted out this week without mentioning the study published in Critical Reviews in Food Science and Nutrition was funded by an unrestricted research grant from the Beef Checkoff through the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Such as fake science from the meat industry is becoming more common as people drop meat. So people are dropping meat because they're not getting what they want, because it's being poisoned with anything you could think of they put in our foods. The water, it has a lot of chemicals in it, and people don't even realize it. And they also keeping us sick, so this way they can keep making money off of it and everything else. And it's hard to find non-GMO foods. It's really hard to find foods like that. And the more they're poisoning us, the more people are dying because they don't care what they do to us, these fake scientists. They keep promising year after year clean water, clean food. It never happens. It's just the same old every year. Whereas only 1% of baby boomers were vegetarian and 4% of Generation X, 12% of millennials are vegetarian, and 60% of Gen Z is trying to go meat-free. So there are baby boomers that were vegetarian and 4% of Generation X, 12% of millennials and vegetarian, and 60% of Generation Z is trying to go meat-free. So I know there's a lot of vegetarians out there. There's a lot of people out there that don't want to eat meat at all. But those of us who do eat meat, yeah, we're getting poisoned every time. Meat's being shipped to China. They fill it up with who knows what, and then they send it back to us, claiming, oh, well, no, this is has gone way too far. The meat industry needs a significant boost too, as the U.S. biggest slaughterhouses closed and at least 3,300 U.S. meatpacking workers have been stricken with C-19. The public may be having second thoughts about the safety of the meat. Could the workers shed the virus onto the meat? Are the animals themselves sick? Has the China bat-based virus called SARS/CoV, which lives in pork, hit the U.S. yet? Yes, so you got to question these things about what is going on. Could the workers shed the virus onto the meat? I'm not sure if it can or not. Are the animals themselves sick? Now, the animals are getting tested as well to make sure they're not sick before they go to the slaughterhouses. Slaughterhouses, U.S. biggest slaughterhouses closed, and at least 3,300 U.S. meatpacking workers have been stricken with C-19. So, animals, they check the animals to make sure they're not sick, and if they are, they get destroyed. Also, the China bat-based virus called SARS-CoV, which lives in pork, hits the U.S. yet? Well, we don't know if it has yet or not, but pork is always the biggest commodity of all meats. And it's no lie right there. Pork is the biggest meat to make money off the most, like bacon, pork chops, and anything that they can get to. Late last year, another meat industry generated study, this one published in the Annals of Internal Medicine, proclaimed that meat was not harmful but desirable. Yet the lead author, Bradley Johnson, neglected to mention his grant that funded investigator driven research about saturated and polyunsaturated fats from Texas A&M our life research. Oops. Yes, so these meats are tested either way. The meat industry generated study with this one published in the Annals of Internal Medicine proclaimed that meat was not harmful but desirable. So if the meat is not harmful, then it is desirable to have. But there are a lot of chemicals in our foods right now because these fake scientists, they just don't care what happens to people. They say, oh, we're going to poison the foods and poison the water and blah, blah, blah. Even though we promised them clean water, clean food. Yeah, okay. Show me that proof they could show me that proof where that says that at. And they keep lying to us year after year because these same people are voted back in about all this stuff that they promised us. Big AG products clearly need promotion, whether non-dairy milks like soy, rice, oat, coconut, pea, almond, cashew, hemp, flax, hazelnut, and quinoa egg substitutes or plant-based meat. Americans are clearly rejecting big AG offerings. A full half of Americans surveyed said they would support a ban on slaughterhouses and would prefer slaughter-free meat such as lab-grown and animal-free meat. 60% of U.S. consumers claim to be reducing their consumption of meat-based products. Of those cutting back, 55% say the change is permanent. So pretty much the vote is not what you clearly thought it would be, but it is. Big AG products clearly need promotion, whether non-dairy milks like soy, rice, oat, coconut, pea, almond, cashew, hemp, flax, hazelnut, and quinoa egg substitutes or plant-based meat. Americans are clearly rejecting that big AG offerings. And I mean, eggs are healthy for you. Even though they keep saying it is, it's not, it is, then it's not, then it is. They can't even make up their minds what they want to do with eggs half the time. But I never had almond milk because I never tried it before. I love rice a lot. 55% are saying that the change is permanent. So if it comes down to that, then boy, oh boy, we are in trouble. Because, all these plant-based meat, I don't think anybody wants to go through that. Really, slaughter-free meat such as lab-grown. Why do we want meat that's lab-grown? Really? Aside from worker and animal cruelty thrown in high relief as workers die from C-19 and livestock are buried alive, animal-based agriculture is a blight on the environment. It takes 2,500 gallons of water, 12 pounds of grain, 35 pounds of topsoil, and the energy equivalent of 1 gallon of gasoline to produce 1 pound of feedlot beef. Yes, so the people have to bury their livestock alive. They are buried alive. And for what? It's a sad shame to see animals getting buried alive. Animal-based agriculture is a blight on the environment. It takes 2,500 gallons of water, 12 pounds of grain, 35 pounds of topsoil, and the energy equivalent of 1 gallon of gasoline to produce 1 pound of feedlot beef. Now that's a lot. That's a lot of ingredients right there. And these poor animals are getting buried alive because they can't make the deadline for the slaughterhouses and that. It's a real sad shame. 5 million acres of rainforest are destroyed every year in South and Central America, allowed to create cattle pasture, along with the greenhouse gases and water pollution caused by beef production. Yeah, so every year the rainforests are destroyed because of all the poisoning that's going on. Animals are losing their habitats in the rainforest. In South and Central America alone to create cattle pastures. That's what they're doing. And along with the greenhouse gases and water pollution caused by beef production. Yeah, and it's all caused by that because they're dumping chemicals into the water as well. And it's really sad that you have to filter out your own water or you get bottles of water to to keep so you wouldn't be drinking the chemicals that are in the water. There's a lot of stuff in the water that you would not even know about. Fake nutritional science is not new. A few years ago, the Journal of the American Medical Association admitted that authors of an article arguing for a higher recommended dietary allowance of protein were in fact industry operatives. Sharon L. Miller was formerly employed by the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, and author Robert R. Wolfe, Ph.D., received money from the Egg Nutrition Center, the National Dairy Council, the National Pork Board, and the Beef Checkoff through the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, said a correction. Okay, so you got this is what the fake nutritional science is not new, obviously, and of course the Journal of the American Medical Association, they have admitted all of this. They were admitting all this. That authors of an article are arguing for a higher recommended dietary allowance of protein were in fact industry operatives. There's Sharon L. Miller. There's Robert R. Wolfe, Ph.D., received money from the Egg Nutrition. There's also the National Pork Board and the Beef Checkoff through the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, said a correction. Here's Miller's email address. You can email her anything you need. Miller and Wolfe wrote many papers promoting animal protein for strength, endurance, and weight control. Nor did Wolfe limit his promotions to feedlots and battery hen operations. He also dabbled in the lab. So all these foods that are getting poisoned are in the lab. There's with the chickens, they are putting something in them to make it look like that the chickens have fed ate so much when it and really they've been dabbled around in the labs. That's what they have. That's how our chickens are getting poisoned. Um, any meat that you could think of, it's all getting poisoned in that. Wolfie presided over the infusion with endoxaton of 18 laboratory pigs until the pulmonary arterial pressure reached a pressure similar to that found in trauma victims, to reach the conclusion after killing them and removing their lungs that the common practice of providing calories in the form of polyunsaturated non-red meat fatty acids to critically ill patients carries the risk of being detrimental to lung function. Yes, the animals died from a saturated fat deficiency, says Wolfie. Yes, so these animals have died from fat deficiency. After the animals are killed, their lungs are removed, literally. And of course, that's a common practice of providing calories in the form of polyunsaturated non-red meat fatty acids to critically ill patients. So the sick have to eat this stuff, whether they like it or not. And people don't even realize that the meats are being poisoned. It has often been said if an offer sounds too good to be true, it is. The same can be said about academic papers that claim meat, milk, eggs, and cholesterol are good for you. Reader, beware. Yes, so you have to be aware of all this stuff that is going on. Because these fake scientists, they're not giving us clean water, they're not giving us clean food at all. All they are doing to us is poisoning us every single time, every year. There is nothing truthful about fake science. That's why all the voters who keep voting these fake scientists in office every year, you're getting the same thing every year. The song and dance, clean food, clean water. No, you're not getting it. You have to go and filter your own water or buy bottles of water just to have clean water, because these tap waters are not what you think they are, even though it's free water, but still, there's still chemicals in there. So they're not telling us the truth, these fake scientists, because they don't care. The elderly, they have to eat foods that they have all these risk factors in there. I mean, the ill patients is too. I mean, seriously, come on. It is messing with our mental health as well. They want us to believe, oh, we're going to give you clean water, we're going to give you clean food. No, they're not giving it to us. They do not care about us, these fake scientists. That's why they're always lying to us all the time. What And these wannabe fake scientists, they know everything when they don't know anything at all. They don't know how to solve any problems. They don't do the work that they're supposed to be doing. They're giving you all this and all that and everything else. That's how much they do not care about us. Because every year these people are voted right back into the office. Oh, yep, same song and dance every single year. Stop voting for these fake scientists that are not going to do anything for us, because they're only killing us, literally. Leave your comments below. I am out.